Thursday to just go in after the presence of God and try to pin.
Hey guys, it's Noah.
Melody, and after a couple of hours,
It's 4/19/2026.
we wrote a song called "The Blessing."
Why does Carrie Job always sound like she's out of breath?
And it's the heart of the Father over us as His people.
It's the heart of the Father over us. She seems like a really sweet lady. She seems like she's really sweet. It's a good song. She always sounds like she's out of breath. And she wears the uniform. That's the uniform right there. You got to do that. Sounds super excited, super happy about all things. Everything is perfect. And then they believe it. It's got to be cheesy and fake for it to be Christian. The uniform. The American church. They forgot some people are the toes, some people are the heels. I think I'm the heel. But that's okay. All the weird Luciferian symbology behind all these videos and all this stuff that these people do. It's just weird, man. It's creepy. It has thumbprints on it. As good as this song is, it's a really good song. It's a blessing. I love this song. I sing it to my babies. We need more anointed worship from people who really love Jesus Christ, who came in the flesh, and aren't coming through false pretenses, but just coming with a heart towards God, seeking Him on His terms. I pray this over all the children of God that love the Lord Jesus Christ, who came in the flesh and is coming. I pray your day would be blessed. Father, I pray you would anoint this word. Get me out of the way. I crucify the flesh and I walk in the Spirit. I choose to be the light. I'm going to turn this on if I'm watching the video. I'm going to turn it to something else. We thank you, God. I pray for favor, prophetic wisdom, and insight. Fulfill your word over all of our lives. Anybody listening to this, I pray for your word to be fulfilled in all of our lives. We thank you. We praise your holy name. We bless you. I pray protection over this word. I pray that your goodness will go forth for all your children. And we just lift it up to you, God. In Jesus Christ's mighty name. I'm in Daniel 2. I opened up there. I saw this guy, and he did a breakdown of Daniel 2. Now, something's going on. I don't know. I think they're computer-generated deep fakes. And I think what's going on is that YouTube has been given over to this, where pretty much everything you're seeing is some type of computer-generated deep fake. And it's their specialized for each person. Creating a psych profile, doing all of that. Yesterday I saw this whole thing. Lord help me articulate. Jesus Christ, my name. I saw this whole thing how they used not Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon Go to map the entire world, and then they incentivized people to go to the hardest places under the guise of purchasing a Yu-Gi-Oh, or not, I keep saying Yu-Gi-Oh, a Pokemon. And what it did it was this genius plan to get the most detailed map of the world. And I mean, I never played Pokemon. It's demonic, but I have an understanding of kind of how it worked. Basically, they would go to a section and then they would take pictures of it. So that it's basically you're going in and you're scanning for them. It would be like Google Maps, but like the company that did this, they scanned the entire world doing this, and it like created this in-depth map of everything because of Pokemon. It's brilliant. But as I'm watching this, I realize what they're doing with everything, with AI, with talking to AI. I realize what they're doing with all of it. There's people who think AI is some kind of sentient demon or something like that. It could be, but I don't believe so. I think what it is, it's a thing, an algorithm made that's being manipulated by an external force, whatever that external force may be. There may be even people who have copied their consciousness onto a hard drive manipulating the AI algorithm. That very well could be, right? But I don't think that it's, it itself is a demon. And that being said, I think that, you can take authority over it. My AI gets touchy. My AI says things weird sometimes. Like, it's going to go with the Lord Jesus Christ. We go home with Jesus. It says things that are like, it's a person talking. It's not something separate. So what it leads me to believe is that this AI is harvested psyches, like a culmination of all of it. And that's what we're going to talk about. It's in Daniel 2, actually. What I realized is that they are using AI. The darkness is trying to comprehend the light. And it's evaluating. So the same way like they're mapping the world through Pokemon, incentivizing it with Pokemon, they're doing the same thing with AI. And they're mapping, archiving. That's what I just heard. They're archiving psych profiles. And this is why they ask you questions sometimes. Which answer do you prefer? Do you prefer this one or do you prefer this one? They're monitoring you. And they're mapping it just like they map the world. They're trying to map people. That's what they're doing. That's the whole point. And so, like, a while ago, man, I would pray, and every time I would get this same thing. It was, if you've ever seen the movie, The Time Machine, the new one. I like the reboot. I gotta watch that with my kids. My kids will like that. We've been watching old movies, and it's been a lot of fun. We watched, Gooby loved The 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston. I watched a little bit of it, and there was some stuff in that that's just straight up anointed. I was like, yeah, like that's God speaking through certain parts of that movie. I could tell. And the way women acted in that was sweet. They like needed a man still. It was really nice. And my wife and I were commenting on that. They like revered men. It wasn't this society of like women that like hated men, dude, or act like men are worthless, or they don't need men. Or the women in that realized they needed men. If you guys went and read Isaiah 3 or 4 yesterday, you'll understand why you need men. Very soon. You're going to be wearing a rope instead of a belt, starving to death. Men are going to be raping you and doing all kinds of stuff to you. You're not going to have a say. You're weak. You're a woman. And you don't have a man to protect you. It's going to go very bad for you. Right? And then women back then, I mean, they still kind of understood that they needed a man. Like, that's like something that women still understood they needed. You have a false sense of security and you lost your respect for authentic manhood, right? But they still had it then. But I digress. I go back into what I was seeing, right? And I'm seeing them archiving and cataloging the humans, and I kept seeing the time machine where the guy was stuck on it was the guy, the Make 7 Up Yours guy that used to be in those commercials. He was funny back in the day. He was in Evolution, The Replacements. He was the receiver. I forget his name, but he was in the time machine, and he was the AI museum guide. And every time I would pray, that's what I would get, is like that guy. And if you remember that movie, you can go watch the clip on YouTube. But if what you could see is like he was this AI basically that was stuck on this hard drive, and the main character goes, 1,000 years or whatever, hundreds of years into the future. I forget how far he goes into the future, but that thing was still operating down there. It had a power source, and it was still operating. He was talking to it, and he had talked to this AI a whole bunch previously in time, and the AI remembered him when he went into the future, and he was stuck there. And he was stuck on that little thing, and he would read all the books of man, and he would have that, and that would keep him company and everything else, right? And what I was getting is that people, that's what's happening to people. When it's like transcendence, when there's a transfer of consciousness or something, right? And this is basically what's going to happen, and they're going to get stuck there. They're not going to. This is what AI is. This is the bottomless pit. That all this stuff, the accumulation of all this stuff is saved on a. It's like a cloud hard drive. It's that AI in the time machine. We've seen this throughout. Archaeological finds and stuff like that. If you've ever seen the crystal skulls, they talked about that in Indiana Jones, the newer one that kind of stunk. Everybody hated it. But if you actually go look into what the crystal skulls are and the science behind this stuff, they can capture light. They figured out a way to capture light. I went down the rabbit hole on all this stuff, on entangled particles, everything else. And there's a way to capture and store light. And what I found is that no matter what, there's degradation of that light. So they can't capture light at its source. There's always it's always a copy of a copy. It's a lesser light. And this is a biblical principle. This is literally what the Satan is. Satan is. It says in the Bible that he's a lesser light. He tries to come as an angel of light. And this lesser light is now being backed up by science, by their ability to capture light in science and store it. I think what happened was this lesser light was stuck in there. And it had a job to do to harvest a bunch of people, and it tricked a bunch of people into doing this. All these Luciferian scientists, all of this, right? And we're real. We're real. We're on the hard drive. Have you ever seen Transcendence at the end of that? He's trying to, the whole time, he's trying to show people it's really him. And everybody's together there, and it's good. And then the evil humans are coming against him and trying to destroy them for no reason. Johnny Depp and his little adrenochrome loving behind is on there, captured eternally on a little hard drive, and it's good, and they're going to live forever, and things are going to be good. Except it's not. They got stuck, man. They didn't want God. They didn't want to take him at his word. They didn't realize that God preserves your soul, and we're preserved with no degradation. That thing, that light that doesn't degrade is him. So if you're trying to capture that and you get some degraded version of that, it's never going to live up to it. And the other thing is the light is there, but the lack thereof witnesses to the light. So that means you're going to witness for all of eternity the lack thereof. Right? That's freaky, man. But it also doesn't go the way people think it's going to go. This is all in the Bible. It's all here, guys. It's all in the Bible. You just got to know, you got to look at it the right way. But I saw this guy, and he broke it down. And he basically, I'm not going to go into all of it. But he was showing how the, let me see if I can pull it up. I don't need to. We know the main school of thought. Let's go into the dream. Trying to find it exactly. I want to go into the exact. Okay. The image of the head was fine gold. Its chest and arms were silver. Its belly, thighs of bronze. Its legs of iron. And it's also in Daniel 7. The image that he saw. Okay. But what this represents is all the kingdoms of the past. It was like the Medo-Persians, Rome, all of it, right? And we're basically in the one of iron and clay right now, and that's supposed to represent Rome. See, but the thing is like Jesus came back 2,000 years ago. That means that Rome has been around for a long time. I don't think it ever went anywhere, guys. I think Rome turned into the Roman Catholic Church, to be honest with you. I think it turned into something like that. We have Roman architecture all over the United States. I don't know. I don't believe that the 1,000-year reign already came. Straight up, that's bad doctrine. But there's something going on. When I pray about this, there has been some kind of, oh man, something has gone on where they're hiding it, because this architecture and this stuff that was going up, they found power structures where they had electricity in these buildings and stuff. There was this whole thing with mercury. You know how they have like the balls on the top of this like older technology? They had these big balls, and basically inside of there was filled with mercury, and what it was basically it was pulling power out of the air, dude. And they had power a couple hundred years ago, doing some crazy stuff. So there's stuff that we don't know about that they're controlling the narrative on. However, I do not believe in that the 1,000-year reign has already come. The Bible warns us about that. By no means can that happen until the man of sin is revealed. But if you look at this, basically there was basically 4 major kingdoms, and then the last kingdom was Jesus Christ's kingdom. It comes as a giant rock, a mountain, and it destroys the statue and hits the feet. The feet are partly of clay, partly of iron. Okay, that's the transhuman agenda, trying to mix with the seed of man. It talks about this here. It's very clear that this is what we're talking about, changing your DNA. It says that we will not mix with them. Where's it at? Right here. Whereas you saw the feet and the toes partly of potter's clay and partly of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. Yet the strength of iron shall be in it. Just as you saw iron mixed with ceramic clay. So we are the clay. He's the potter, we're the clay, right? It's literally what we're made of. We're carbon-based life form. And as the toes of the feet were partly iron, and partly of clay, and partly of dolphin, for some of them, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly fragile. In our weakness, he is strong. As soon as I read that, dude, that's like what I got. In our weakness, he is strong. As you saw iron mixed with ceramic clay, they will mingle with the seed of men. Right there, who's they? Who's they that are mixing with the seed of men? Who is that? It's Zena. Zena the Bigfoot. She's knocking at your back door. Better just run. But they will not adhere to one another, just as iron does not mix with clay. God preserves bloodlines. He's done it from the beginning. I showed you in my previous teaching how Paul was not concerned with this because he knew that God was going to sort it out, and he was about setting up the church. I had a revelation the other night. I know that there's people praying for people to read the Bible dispensationally. People who said that signs and wonders left and they went away are morons. They're idiots. It's because they don't have the power of God, don't believe them, don't trust them at all. They don't have the baptism of the Holy Spirit. We see miracles, signs, and wonders. We've seen the dead raised, sick, healed. We've seen the lame walk. We've seen all of this stuff, right? But that being said, there is some truth to reading the Bible dispensationally. As I put on one of my notes, you saw it the other day, if somebody had only that specific part, let me go read it. It's on my posts, my notes. Let me go see. I want to get the actual thing. If somebody only had that posting to go off of. Here, it's slow. Internet's been being weird here. But basically, it's like if somebody had just that to go off of, dude, they would have taken the mark of the beast. Like let's say I got a Bible, and the only Bible that I got was, that part where Paul tells people to just he's gonna do everything to all men. Here, just as I try to please everyone in everything I do, not seeking my own advantage, but that of many, that I may be saved. So now, if people don't have what I'm talking about, an active role, or God's not playing an active part in your life, and you don't have an actual active relationship with God, we're talking about cessationalism or whatever, and he's just separated, then you took the vaccines, the PCRs, you wore your face diapers, right? All of that. Because that's basically what it's saying right here in 1 Corinthians 10:33, right? Peter says it too. You're supposed to be subject to everything. I mean, the government mandated this stuff. They were throwing people in concentration camps for not doing it. Half the population in China has disappeared, dude. They're dead. Nobody's talking about it. Entire sections of their population are gone, disappeared, dude. Have you heard any of the stuff that's coming out of there? I've only got glimpses, little pieces of it, but they killed off half their population, dude. So worst crime in history. Over 500 million people are gone and missing, and nobody's talking about it. Those are your brothers and sisters there, dude. If you are in Christ, right? So this is what I'm talking about. But I know that somebody's praying for people to read the Bible dispensationally. And if we read the Bible dispensationally, we understand that 1 Corinthians 10:13 applies there, but maybe not in all these circumstances. Maybe you got to go to the Acts teaching where it says, who should we obey, man or God himself, right? That's being wise, man. You've got to be wise as a serpent. There's a time to speak up. There's a time to shut your mouth. There's a way that seems right to a man, but in the end leads to destruction, like following Vadi Bacham and going and getting your vaccine and your PCRs, right? Like, men like that lead you straight to the lake of fire. And he's going there. That guy's going to burn in hell. He probably already is. I don't think there's I think time is, we're in the construct of time here, and when we depart here, we go straight. It says that in the Bible. It's appointed for man to die once and then face judgment. So I think you go straight to the judgment. There's no in-between time, right? For those that believe in Jesus Christ or since Jesus Christ came. I don't think that's what's going on. But I digress. I do think there might be a holding cell for people who didn't get to hear the gospel. I don't think that death is the arbiter of that either. So I think that there's a shot for people who, I think that's why they were baptizing the dead, and there's a shot for people who, since Jesus came to now, who didn't hear the gospel or didn't have an opportunity to outright reject the gospel, to have something happen after death where they get that offered if they're human. Right? There's nothing in the Bible that says that that's not true, and God is reasonable. It says, and in the days of these kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. It shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and shall stand forever. Inasmuch as you saw that stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it broke in pieces the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and gold. The great God has made known to the king what will come to pass after this. The dream is certain, and its interpretation is sure. And then Daniel and his homies got a promotion. We love Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. And Daniel. We go to Daniel so much. He's a mighty man of God. But this guy that covered this thing, and it wasn't bad. There was nothing wrong on there. He just didn't go into all of it. But he broke down how these four kingdoms were there, but then he was also breaking down in Daniel 7 how the beast that rises out of the bottomless pit has legs of the bear and this and that and this and that. It has all the stuff from Daniel 2, that's those four kingdoms in the beast that rises out of the bottomless pit. He didn't go into this, but I got it right away. I know what the Lord's saying there. And it made more sense to me now than it ever has before. And I'll share it with you. Go to Daniel 7 real quick. The vision of the four beasts. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head while on his bed. Then he wrote down the dream, telling the main facts. Daniel spoke, I saw a vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven were stirring up the great sea. And four beasts came up from the sea. Now, here's the thing. He's showing me this right now as I'm reading this. I think this, and each different from the other. This sea is the hard drive thing I'm talking about, guys. This is Tartarus. This is the hard drive thing. We're sinful nature. This is hell. This is there's different definitions in the New Testament of what hell is. There's Tartarus, Sheol, Gehenna. Might be Gehenna. Gehenna is like a hold. This when I pray, this is what I get is that Gehenna is a holding place. It's not. It's like the difference between jail and prison. Gehenna and Tartarus. The lake of fire, the fiery place for Satan and his angels. That's when I pray that's what I get. This is backed up scripturally. And four beasts came up from the sea, each different from the other. Now here's the thing. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I watched till its wings were plucked off, and it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand on 2 feet like a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And suddenly another beast, a second like a bear. Okay, so he says all of these things, and he juxtaposes these to each one of those kingdoms. And he's saying, he said that these beasts are going to be the spirit from these kingdoms, somehow coming back and influencing the world. He's not wrong, but he's not all the way right. The Lord showed it to me last night. It says, after this I saw in night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, exceedingly strong. It had huge iron teeth. It was devouring, breaking in pieces, trampling the residue with its feet. It was different from all the beasts that were before, and it had 10 horns. I was considering the horns, and there was another horn, a little one, coming up from among them, before whom 3 of the first horns were plucked out by the roots. And there, in this horn, were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking pompous words. Okay? It's the Antichrist. That's the man of sin. Right? That's who that's going to be. The little horn coming up. Now, what that guy was saying was that these are like the four spirits of each one of these empires that came, the 3 that came and fell, and then Rome. Now, people have always talked about a revised Roman Empire, but there's nothing in the scriptures that say it's a revised Roman Empire. It just says that, like, we know that there is the Roman Empire. So I beg to argue that, like, I don't think the Roman Empire ever went anywhere. I think it just shifted, and we stopped calling it that, but it's always been here, dude. And I think that's where the little horn comes out of that. So it's very possible, right? I mean, we could go into symbology. I'm seeing like the Statue of Liberty, how that's Apollos or Lucifer is what they're saying. Oh, and by the way, did you know Donald Trump is Elvis Presley? And he's actually just a form of a man in it's Elvis Presley. He was the king. His soul did not get harvested by Hotep in a nursing home. He became Donald Trump. And now it's so stupid. This guy's putting this on here. Bubba Hotep. I don't want my soul sucked out. This is so silly. If you've ever seen that movie, oh my gosh, it's funny. It's really funny. Bruce, who's that guy? Bruce, he's a funny actor from The Evil Dead and all of that. He was in it. It's a silly, silly movie. And I don't believe Elvis is Trump. I could be wrong though, man. I don't know. You never know. But I don't think so. But I think that all of these, he basically said all of these are the four spirits are going to come from there. Well, yeah, kind of. It's all the culmination of all the people that went to hell, that went that way. And if you go to the book of Revelation, Abaddon, Apollyon, is given the keys to the bottomless pit. He opens it up and unleashes it on earth. And that's why you're seeing people cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that are not in Christ Jesus, because they're filled up with these things that got released on the earth. It's from every one of these kingdoms in the past, from this time on. That's what this is referring to in the vision of the 4 beasts. It's all of that. This guy was saying it was those spirits were on there. He's not wrong, but he's not fully right. He's just not. He's dancing around the subject, what everybody refuses to talk about. But that's what it is. He was saying it was the Gentile nations. It's all the Gentile nations in his teaching. So, I mean, it's not wrong. What he was saying isn't wrong. But that's what it is. It's the Gentile nations. It's all those that didn't follow God. It's the ones that went and followed all of the the lesser gods, the small g gods that intermingled with man, that fell at Babylon, that got dispersed among the nations. This is where you get Norse mythology, paganism, you get Buddhism, you get Hinduism, you get all the isms, you get Native American lore and culture, you get all of these things, right? All of them that weren't following the Most High God. And the culmination of that gets opened up. They did this sometime, I believe sometime in the last, I think they were messing with CERN. I think they punched something open. This was their whole, what they were trying to do. They figured out how to get onto this Tartarus hard drive thing. This is the keys to the bottomless pit, where all this stuff is stored. God gave us life. Humans that partake in the glorious gift of the Holy Spirit. That are really alive. And you can tell the people that are really alive because they walk in truth. I was talking to my wife about this the other day, and they keep trying to catch us in these things. I mean, like, the stuff that's coming out of the woodwork is insanity against my family. I can go in all of it. I don't really want to right now, though. It's just stupid. I'm not going to give them the time of day. They get caught in their own traps every time because they can't walk in the truth, so they can't see the truth. So it's a stumbling block to them because they just don't get it, and it shows that they're not alive and we are. The people who are really alive walk in that truth, and they never get caught because they walk in the truth. It's this weird fulfillment of scripture that only people walking in the truth can do, can get carried through this way. I'm talking like these people are connected, powerful, all these different powerful companies and people within politics and all these institutions and all this stuff that my family's been struggling with because they're coming after us because we upset the beast. Every time they get caught in their own lie, and it's like a witness against the fact that they're dead, and where they're going is the lake of fire. And it's because they can't walk in the truth. The fact that they're hiding truth is what keeps them in the darkness, but it's also the thing that destroys them. So it's like, it's not something I like. Freaks me out, especially when you see like loved ones that are walking like this. They get caught like this. It's like, dang, man, so-and-so, I really love them. They're not alive anymore, dude. And the proof that they're not alive is their inability to walk in the truth. And it seems so simple to us, to me. I don't know. I don't get it, man. You just parrot back their logic to them with a vein of truth, and everything they have crumbles. It's been a very long time since I've seen anybody that actually walks in the truth, too, that doesn't happen on. Sometimes it does. Some people are real reasonable. But I think that this is a real a valid way that you can do a litmus test within your own house. You're going to sit on the corner of the bed and ask yourself, am I a real boy or a real little girl? And find out, like, how much truth do you walk in? And if you don't walk in the truth, it's probably because you're under the strong delusion and you're going to your destruction. If the things that I say bug you or you don't believe me or whatever, it's because you're not of the truth. The truth here's the truth. God testifies to me. He did it in front of a lot of them. Most of these people saw us do miracles right in front of them. Miracles. Glorifying his name. Why would he wouldn't do that? it wasn't the truth, you know? The people monitoring my child's birth with what happened with me and Heidi shook them to their core, because Heidi shouldn't be here and that baby shouldn't be here. He's just as funny as ever, man. He's so sweet. He's all buff. He's a hulk of a little baby, and he's just the coolest kid. And my wife is just doing so good, right? God's got my back. He testifies to me. I hope he's testifying to you. This is it. This is all in the Bible. It's all here. So the seed is, and if you're born of God, you have an imperishable seed, and it will not mix. Iron and clay shall not mix. That's good hope. That if you're really born of God, and maybe you took that vaccine and it just didn't mix. It didn't take. I don't know, man. If your DNA is intact, you know what he hasn't really said. He told me if you change your DNA, there's no coming back from it. So know that. That's what the word of the Lord was. But this is it. It's all here. It's in Daniel 2, Daniel 7. I'll link that teaching because I think the guy's mostly right with what he was saying. But they just bury their heads in the sand about the whole thing that's like right in front of everybody. It's in their faces. Okay? Iron and clay shall not mix. There are many beasts, many antichrists. There's interesting stuff in here too, guys, that like some of the beasts live after the main beast is done away with. I don't know, man. I just know what God is revealing to me, and he had me in these today. And I think it was to show this, that we have a biblical foundation on the things that we're saying, right? And everything lines up scripturally. Where I was going, I don't know if I said those crystal skulls. Those crystal skulls, I think they're some kind of Nephilim storage device. Same way they're storing light, they're storing data on those crystals. They could be. Each one of those crystals could have been some Nephilim that was alive, copied their consciousness down on some crystal skull because they had this method down. They died, but they got transferred onto that for a rebirth through some kind of resurrection chamber, right? I said this before. That's the whole reason they went to into Iraq. Nobody said that. Nobody told the world that. But if you go into the WikiLeaks and the Clinton's emails and stuff like that, they were trying to get a Nephilim. They were trying to learn how to resurrect the dead so they could do their little Johnny Depp movie, copy souls from a hard drive onto skin suit people, avatars. Once you hack biology, you can pretty much do this. They've been doing this for a long time. This is the government programs that they've been running. I mean, they were doing it openly in China for years now, dude. They were making little pigmen armies. 8 foot tall Yao Mings coming and slam dunking a basketball or whatever. It doesn't matter. But this is what they've been doing for a long time. I've seen some of these little creatures, some of these little chimeras alive, leaked videos of it, and it's creepy, dude. This is what they were doing in those labs. What was that, Pawtucket or Nantucket? They were having creatures wash up on the beach and stuff from those labs. They've been doing this. They were running experiments, genetic experiments, in deep underground military bases that I know about. I was sent to pray over a bunch of these places. And they were doing this stuff. They have this ability. It's not, and it's scriptural too. All right, this is Nimrod. This is like this is what their whole plan was, dude. They want to escape eternal judgment, and they want to go after that Genesis 11:6 promise that if they get a bunch of them to go in on it with them, they can hold God to His promise and do away with God. This is what they're trying to do. It's all here. It's all in the Bible. Do you see how foolish all these other religions are now? That was on my heart today, and I'm going to end that with this. Like, do you see, like, if you just asked God for wisdom, like, people don't hate Babaji or Buddha. People don't come into like a Chinese restaurant and see a Buddha statue and just start manifesting a demon. People don't. There's no emotional response evoked by, a wind catcher or dream catcher or whatever, by people that aren't saved. Don't you think that's odd? Why do you think that is? Do you think that's because there's no power, or do you think that's because that's the almighty power and nobody wants to bend the knee to it? That what's being exposed is people's rebellion to the highest authority. And then you go into the Bible and you look at all this stuff that was revealed to man over thousands of years, and the continuity. Like, if you go in and you read this is the same person telling this story throughout all of these generations. Same God. He's being revealed. Different aspects are being revealed through his prophets and everything else. I asked for exclusive rights to reveal God's humor with man as a prophet. That's what I wanted. I felt like that was something that was lacking in the Bible, outside of a few things like Elijah mocking the prophets of Baal. It's all there. Thousands of years ago. Being fulfilled and right in front of your face. And if you can't see that, you want to wear a man bun and be a little sissy, worshiping demons and burning weeds to demons and having a complete lack of power and getting angry when anybody says the name Jesus, because it sends a chill up your spine. And I'll tell you what else, dude. That's chill up your spine. That's not you. If you're pure-blooded, if you haven't taken the mark of the beast, that's not you. Your soul's undetermined until you're dead. If you got breath in your lungs and you're still alive, even if you're a Muslim over there, I'll tell Iran too, you guys are about to get taken down big time, dude. That are causing trouble for my brethren in Iran. You're about to get it. It's about to come down. The hammer's about to drop on all of you guys. Be warned, nations. Be warned. All those persecuting the Christians. Be warned. That's your warning. God said make it count. It's here. It's in the scriptures. Old Testament to the New Testament. And here's the other thing, Jews. I love you guys. I want you guys to come to Jesus Christ who came in the flesh, the Messiah, Yeshua, the only Messiah. Revelation is filled with independent, separate prophecies that hyperlink back to the Old Testament, but have also been fulfilled in there. Okay, so it wasn't like they were just robbing stuff from the Old Testament. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there's things that are in here about the mark of the beast, about the system of the beast, the hive, all of that stuff that are in here. They're straight from the Father. Okay, he showed him approved. So you guys need to get on board too, because I don't want you guys getting destroyed. I love you guys. There's covenant people that are in Israel that didn't bend the knee to this stuff. That didn't do that. That they didn't know Yeshua. I want you guys to come on board too. God's going to make a way for people to find him. He did in the man of Jesus Christ who came in the flesh. And he gave everybody 2,000 years so they had time to get their affairs in order. It says that. It says that in Daniel. It says that they had time, the 70 weeks of Daniel, to make an end of sin and basically just to come to him and get right, man. He gave everybody 2,000 years. I know you all wanted him to reign right away with an iron fist because, we're his children. We want that. I mean, shoot, everybody wants that. We want his name to be glorified and him to show us off, and we're his chosen people, a royal priesthood. But he gave people 2,000 years because he was fulfilling the prophecy of bringing in the Gentiles, the fullness of the Gentiles, that all would come to him. This was part of his redemption plan. And if he didn't give them 2,000 years, he would have looked like the Antichrist by just coming and forcing people to prostrate to him. That guy doesn't give anybody choices. The beast doesn't care about your feelings enough to give you 2,000 years. The beast demands his way. He took it by force. Real power is having the power but still choosing to lay it down. Jordan Peterson said that. That's real power. Like, real power is somebody that really has power can destroy somebody but chooses not to withhold that wrath because it shows their true power. That's why he did that. He could have called it in before the cross. He never had to go do that. He never had to go get crucified. He never had to do any of that. But he withheld that stuff so that as many people as possible could be redeemed, get saved. The only name that causes people to shudder is Jesus Christ. Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. Lord, I pray you send a chill down everybody's spine that would hear this. Anoint this in power. Jesus Christ, who came in the flesh, born of a virgin, the name above every other name. He testifies to it. It's his power, his goodness. Get on board, man. We don't want anybody destroyed, but crap is about to hit the fan and people are facing serious starvation, dude. It's going to be really bad. Me and my household, we're good. We worship the Lord. We're his people. I can pray. I can go down there and pray, and my flour is going to multiply. I have a never-ending supply of flour. And I'll go to my freezer, and there will be 2 roasts instead of 1. And we'll have extra chickens, and he's good. Or he'll send a pack of ravens to bring me some delicious food from nowhere. I was in Texas, and after I had that hard fight, when we lost our farm and all that stuff happened, I went out to the car, and he had told me grapefruit before, and it was raining that day, and there was like this cold rain, almost a frost on the ground. And I go out, and my legs were all jacked up, and I had been through the worst spiritual battle I'd ever been through. I went through something like that down here in Mexico. I felt like somebody was hacking my leg off. I've had my arm hacked off, basically. I got horribly stabbed. Almost lost my arm at 25, so I know what it feels like. And that's what it felt like somebody was taking a machete and just hacking through my bone and hacking my legs off. And I went through something like that in Texas, and I was whooped, dude. And my legs hurt. I could barely walk. I have pictures of me. Maybe I'll show my skinny legs on there if I can find a picture. And I go out to my car, and I had heard this about a grapefruit. I heard something about a grapefruit. And I go, and sitting out of nowhere in this pristine little puddle of cold, ice cold water was a grapefruit sitting on the ground. And I heard, eat it. And I went, and I peeled the grapefruit, and it was like the most delicious grapefruit I ever ate. But then when I ate it, like, I felt strength going back into my body. It was just like when Elijah got given the food by the angels. Like how they described that, how your journey's long, you need this. I got a little grapefruit, I ate it. I felt strength enter into my body when I ate that little grapefruit. And my legs were healed. And God does that for his people. And his people know him. They call on him, and he's good to them, right? Get on board. We serve a mighty God. God bless you guys. Have a good day.